It's about time. What's going on?
Rumor report. This is the Rumor Report.
Talk to him.
With Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
Well, on Shaq's podcast, The Big Podcast with Shaq, he answered a question about Ime Udoka and his comments on the whole situation. And what he had to say in response was very interesting.
We have Ime Udoka and the situation going on in Boston.
I am going to step down from this conversation. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
I was a serial cheater. It would be crazy and blasphemous for me to get up here and say, boom, boom, bam. I can't do that. I know these guys personally. I know they're going through a lot because I went through a lot. I just wish that, certain parties weren't involved. Like I've known Nia Long for a long time. I like her. I know Adam for a long time, and they're going through a lot of family stuff. But I'm never the guy that's going to get up here because of my platform and fake it. I did it. I was the best at it. I'm not proud of it. I lost my family doing it. I lost valuable, important years with my children from doing it. So I refuse to get up here. You shouldn't have did this. You shouldn't have did that. I'm not that guy. I'm real with the situation.
He doesn't want to be a hypocrite.
That's real.
What does it mean he was the best at it?
Yeah, but he's not being a hypocrite. Like, Shaq's right. What he said is what needs to be said. Like, that's what brothers need to hear, how cheating on your woman, disrespecting your vows could cause you to lose everything. So, I mean, he said what needs to be said. So him saying, he don't have to say, you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. He's an example of why you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z, because he's letting you know that, I lost everything by doing that. And I know the Celtics coach and Nia Long weren't married, but there is a bigger conversation to be had about, why a lot of us men do self-sabotage like this, like the lack of worthiness, that a man has within himself to do that. How those moments that you're leading with ego can cost you everything. So I do think it's a larger convo to be had about self-sabotage and keeping brothers from making those mistakes. And I can say that because I made those same mistakes.
Yeah, me as well. And shout to Shaq. When I was going through my stuff, Shaq pulled up on me too and had a conversation with me. So always appreciate that. What up, Shaq?
Yeah, he's saying he doesn't want to pass judgments and tell him, oh, you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have did that, but he is hoping that they manage to work everything out. He knows how difficult, from his own experience, it can be. All right, now, according to reports, Rihanna is vetting at least 50 potential musicians to perform with her at the Super Bowl halftime show. Who would you like to see on that stage?
I'd like to see T.I. come out to do Live Your Life. I'd like to see Jay-Z and Kanye come out to do Run This Town.
Drake, the joint with Drake. I would love to see the joint with
the Drake record?
What's My Name?
What's my name? Also the joint with Future.
Calvin Harris, We Found Love. That's my song.
The joint with Future would be crazy.
Future would be crazy.
What about Eminem?
That's
a big song.
Yeah, all those records we named they were number one records. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Paul
McCartney.
I don't think she would do Eminem because Eminem did it last year, right?
It's a guest though. It's still her show.
Yeah, true.
He's a guest, and so I could see that's a huge song. I'm sure A$AP Rocky. There's rumors.
What song she got with A$AP?
Allegedly, there's rumors that they have a new song and surprise performance plan. That's the rumor, since this is the Rumor Report.
That'd be dope.
I don't think the Super Bowl is for new songs.
But she got time though to put out a song,
Yeah, they definitely have time. It's not until February.
Yeah, they got time.
Yeah, because Beyonce did that with what song did Formation, right?
And that's huge, and that's a great way to perform it for the first time. All right, now A$AP Rocky, in the meantime, is talking about that meme of him in the mosh pit, and he said that it's not funny. Some little bit was squeezing the life out of my testicles, B.
That's sexual assault, by the way.
He was making
that is assault.
That face
That's definitely
like
sexual
that.
assault.
And then he also captioned, "This pretty much sums up my Rolling Loud experience" in the post.
That's definitely sexual assault. You can't just grab a man's testicles because you feel like it. Just because he jumped in the mosh pit don't give you the right to grab his testicles.
All right, he definitely looks like he's going through it.
Investigate that woman.
Tom Hanks is going to be releasing his debut novel. It's called The Making of Another Major Motion Picture Masterpiece.
Can't wait.
It's coming out next year. It's about the movie industry and the making of a colossal, star-studded, multi-million-dollar superhero action film and the humble comic book that inspired it. That's according to the official synopsis. beginning in 1947 with the story of a soldier returning home from war. It then switches focus to the soldier's nephew who writes a comic book about his uncle in 1970, and from there it pivots to present day when a director adapts the comic book into a superhero movie. So he actually took things from his own experiences in Hollywood to write the book. He said, every character in the book does something I've experienced while making a movie, as well as discovered a philosophy or learned an important lesson. Even the foolish moments are some kind of stunt I've pulled or mistake that I've survived. That's what he told People. So he said he's going to use his knowledge of the movie business to paint a picture of how a major motion picture actually comes together. He said, no one knows how a movie is made, though everyone thinks they do. I've made a ton of movies, and 4 of them are pretty good, I think. And I'm still amazed at how films come together. From a flicker of an idea to the flickering image on screen, the whole process is a miracle.
Yeah, I definitely want to read that. I'm still waiting for Tom Hanks' memoir, though. I can't wait to read a memoir of Tom Hanks.
All right, now Shakira is being ordered to stand trial on tax fraud charges. And so she is headed to court. The judge did order yesterday that she'll be brought to trial in Spain on 6 charges of tax fraud. Now, the date has yet to be set. But this is all in 2018. They charged her in Spain with tax evasion, accusing her of not paying up to 14.5 million euros, that's about $14 million, in taxes between 2012 and 2014. They said she spent more than half of that period living in Spain, and she should have paid taxes in the country, even though her official residence was listed as the Bahamas. They said as soon as she spent more than
her financial team dropped the ball somewhere.
They said as soon as she spent more than 183 days in Spain in a fiscal year, she took the initiative to declare herself a tax resident in Spain and pay taxes in this country. That's what she should have done. So she didn't. So she's denying any wrongdoing. She said she has always cooperated and abided by the law. And, you know, unfortunately, the Spanish tax office, which loses out 1 out of every 2 lawsuits with its taxpayers, continues to violate her rights and pursue yet another baseless case. Shakira is confident that her innocence will be proven by the end of the judicial process. Woo, you got to be careful with them taxes. You know, a lot of people move other places or list other places as a residence because they have lower taxes, but they do check and make sure that you're really where you say you are. I know a lot of people try to go to Puerto Rico.
A lot of people move to Puerto Rico. You got to stay there 6 months.
But they actually track like your cell phone, and they track where your whereabouts are to make sure that that's where you really are. All right, and that is your rumor report.
All right, now we got front page news next. What are we talking about?
Yes, and let's talk about Governor Newsom, California's governor. He has signed a legislative package that protects and expands abortion access into law. He signed this yesterday.
All right, we'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.